Hi guys, welcome back to a new video and welcome to my channel if you're new. Hi, my name is Femke and in today's video I'm going to show you 5 techniques how to gradient or ombre your nail, or at least use 2 or maybe 3 different colors onto one nail and just make it look really fun. So I am going to use a lovely minty green and a soft baby pink color by Essence Cosmetics. And yeah, if you want to know my 5 techniques with like 5 different outcomes, just keep on watching and I really hope you enjoy. So I'm mostly going to use like household products or just items you have laying around anyway, so that's pretty easy. And I'm also going to use one specific tool that you can buy online. But first up, I had already worn this lovely green, like minty green shade by Essence Cosmetics. This one is from the Shine Last and Go collection. I've worn it for about a week and I'm going to add this lovely like baby pink color, which is called Get Ready. Oh, and the minty green one is 42. Everybody say yeah. So these are from their new collection, so they dry pretty quickly, but I really like that. So I'm going to show you 5 techniques or like 5 ways to gradient your nail or give like a gradient kind of ombre effect. So we're just going to start off with the first one, which will be straight from the brush, which is in the nail polish bottle. This one is a little bit tricky and I have to say I kind of failed while doing this, but you will see later on. I also used this technique in one of my mermaid designs. I think it was somewhere in October last year, but it worked better in that tutorial, so I will just link it at the end of this video so you can just check it out and see it for yourself. But you just want to get rid of most of the product off of your brush and kind of like dry brush it onto the nail. For some reason I actually got rid of most of the product, but there was still like a ton in between all of the bristles that I didn't see, but I just tapped the edge a little bit with my finger to make it a little bit like less obvious of a line, but it kind of failed. Like here you can see me failing at something I want to like teach you guys, but I kept it in and I didn't redo it because I felt like it is perfectly fine to show my mistakes as well. But here I tried to fix it by adding a top coat on top of the white pink, or the still wet pink color, but it didn't really help that much. And later on off camera I tried to fix it with a little bit extra of the green, which wasn't a big help either. But yeah, at least we got a really cool like end result. I really like the edge of the ombre or gradient. It isn't like super faded, but I liked it. So the second technique is one of my favorites, and this is just me picking a small piece off of a kitchen sponge. You know those sponges with like the colored like underside and the greenish like scrubbing top? Just get rid of that dark green scrubbing part and just pick a piece of the soft fluffy sponge. I always like just applying the polish onto the more wretched side of the sponge, so you don't want to just cut it off, just rip it off to get like the most artsy and cool effect. I really love this. I also used this technique in my first Sailor Moon inspired nail art, which I did somewhere like a year ago or a year and a half ago already, but you can just look that up on my channel as well. I think this effect is super cool. It is not like a perfect fade, which you will get while using a makeup sponge, but I just really like the way it looks. And I just lost my voice there. Did you hear that? Oh my god. But just to finish it off, I applied a layer of my top coat, which perfectly seals it in and just makes it a little more smooth. Then this is one of my favorite techniques as well, and that is just a little makeup sponge. Like those wedges you can get in like a 10-pack or a 20-pack or whatever. You can get them at any drugstore or at AliExpress. I just bought mine at a local drugstore called Kruidvat here in the Netherlands, and I just applied both colors onto this sponge. And you just want to like pat it onto the nail. I would always suggest to just at least already apply one of the 2 base colors to really get like an opaque effect real quickly, but this is just one of my favorite techniques. If you feel like you want the fade to be a little bit like more prominent or more faded, I have to say, just go in with a second layer and dab it on, just kind of like a zigzag like motion, so you really blend into 2 colors together perfectly. perfectly. And to seal it off, you want to go in with your top coat again. I'm just using one by Catrice, which is a regular top coat, even though it says a gel top coat. It is just a regular nail polish top coat, but this one is one of my favorites. It gives like a beautiful glossy effect, and it just seals in your design perfectly. Then for the third technique, I'm using an eyeshadow applicator, but you could also go in with like a disposable lip gloss applicator, kind of like a spongy kind of tip. Is one of the things I really like to use for gradients. But yeah, I accidentally switched the two colors, so I had to switch my nail to get them in the right order. I really wanted the pink to be on the tip and the green more towards the cuticle area, so you kind of have like a 50-50 effect. But these are just like dual-ended eyeshadow applicators. I bought them for like 50 or 100 for I think like 50 cents in euros at AliExpress. It was super affordable. You just want to dab it on the same way you did with the makeup sponge, and it gives a little bit more of like a less gradient effect, but still kind of gradient, if you know what I mean. It's less like fluent or flowy, but I really do like the effect this one gives. And a lot of you might already have a makeup or an eyeshadow applicator that you've never used before at home, so you actually don't have to go out and purchase some other stuff to get a perfect like gradient or ombre effect. But then of course you want to cap it all in with your top coat, which also gives it more of like an airbrushed effect in my opinion. If it looks a little like ratchet with just the nail polishes applied, always go in with your top coat while the nail polish color is still a little bit tacky, and it will give a more like flushed effect. But now the last technique is one with like a sponge tool that I got at AliExpress. And to be honest, I really don't like the effect this one gives. I actually showed my husband afterwards and asked him which one he liked best and which technique or like effect he liked the least. And he really didn't like the look from this one. Maybe it is because I only applied one color onto the sponge, but that was what the instructions while I bought it actually said, that you just have to apply one color and just like sponge it on softly or dab it on softly. So that is what I did. I don't feel like I added too much product either, because the sponge actually soaked up a lot of the polish. But yeah, it's not for me. And I also noticed that there were like some sponge flakes getting off of the tool into the nail polish, onto the nail. So it wasn't like a beautiful flat surface at all. As you can see here, even my top coat couldn't finish it off like smoothly. So yeah, these were the 5 techniques already. I'm really curious to hear which one of these techniques is your favorite, or which one you would like to try out yourself. I pretty much love the kitchen sponge technique and the makeup sponge technique. They just give really cool effects. The makeup sponge gives the most flush and blended effect, but the makeup sponge, I don't know what I said, but the kitchen sponge really gives like a artsy kind of splattered on effect. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you liked it. I love you guys so much, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos.